And that's one of the few decisions favouring the tackler. But it goes the way of Ben Harris, who can really make it something now. He'll kick from 30 metres. The margin is 13 points, and now it's 12. But it's 2 straight kicks, and that's significant because if the Bears can kick 2 goals, they could reduce the margin to nothing.
Well, they've put big Laurie Keane back to full forward and moved Ross Glendinning out to centre half forward, and I think that's a good move.
Yes, Kev, I think it's overdue, actually. The job that was given to Gastev really, in retrospect, was quite impossible.
Well, they had Big Micken across the half-back line, and Gastev's as big as me.
Long kick out wide, looking for Scott, and Micken is with him. Scott fights for it. Nice play by Brennan. Goes careering downfield and boots him into attack with a 70-metre one. Straight to Keane. What a beautiful piece of play, that time by Brennan. Michael came racing downfield, and I like the look of Keane always at full forward. Tallest man on the ground, 50 metres out, a thundering kick. It was a big one, but just missed. But an important one. It is now 2 goals, 1 the difference.
Actually, when he was on in the first quarter, even in the heavy rain, he looked to be a danger. He kicked the opening goal of the match, plus he contested strongly. So I don't think they're going to lose anything by having Big Keane in the goal square. That
was a mighty kick. Roberts gets a lead from Rains and passes perfectly. Risky hand pass to Waterson, puts him under the hammer. Kicks over half-back, push in the back, not paid. Malaxos. Beyond half-forward, Glendinning and Keane from the back. And suddenly the forward line revitalised. And this time he's a bit closer. He'll kick from just inside 50 metres. And yes, I think he just about did have first hands on that. And the giant Laurie Keane could probably just about put it away now if he can kick this. I think it might be out of the Bears' reach. Kicks from inside 50. Another long one. And again, no, this time it's straight. And the crowd beside itself with joy, as after some very anxious moments, the Eagles get their 10th goal and lead by 19 points halfway through the last quarter.
Oh, gee, Kev, he's a big kick, isn't he?
And straight away, they're going to put Ben Harris down onto Laurie Keane. That's the problem when you've got a guy 6'8", 6'9" standing in the goal square. Who do you put on him? And he's just taken 2 strong marks in front of Mark Roberts. So Roberts now is being sent down to the forward line and Harris the fullback.
Well, he's shown the coach in Ron Alexander that he should never have been off the ground. And slithering up, that was a near. Fidge in front, tackled by Holmes, and a good tackle it was too. Great play, Gastev, fighting for it, Campbell. Banfield out wide, bit too slick. Fought for well by a near again, and he boots it about 35 metres downfield. But that was good football, Johnny Anea. And it's on the half-forward flank, and Michael McCarthy, Micken are both there, but the match is slipping away from the gallant Bears.
Yes, they've been full of gallantry. It looked as though they'd be crushed earlier in the night, and yet halfway through the last quarter they had a real chance and still have some semblance. Richardson to Campbell, well played. Rains on the end of it. Long beyond the centre. Reynoldson the knock-on. Hardy the target. Another good knock-on. Roberts. Reynoldson. 25 metres out. Nowhere to go. And surrounded. Hardy, though. Desperate snapshot. Has missed. But what a great try it was. And he really has given that attacking half a lift. The margin 18 points at the 16-minute mark of the last term.
He's looked a lot better playing on the forward line tonight. And in the first half, he gave very little drive at all to the Bears, but he's been an important player in the second half.
Bad miss by Zanotti. Recovers possession, barges his way through, then to the ground. But getting back to Hardy, you just see class oozing out of him when he gets into full flight. And there's not too many people in the Brisbane Bears who've got those sort of skills. Nobody, really. And therefore, I think his spot is the forward line. Nice big leap that time by Scott. Wiley, Williams downfield, underneath it Brennan. He's a trier, so is Hardy. Walsh kicks it off the ground accidentally. Over the line, it goes out of bounds.
16 and a half minutes gone. Brisbane deep in attack, desperately needing a goal now to give itself some chance. Reynoldson doing the ruck work. Renstead, loose hand pass, has to go back and collect it himself, but he's good enough. Miles bursting out of defence. Lovely long kick beyond the wing. Throw in. The Eagles attacking side of the wing. Scoreboard, West Coast 79. Brisbane 61, 17 minutes down, final term.
Looking pretty tough for the Bears. Well played, Glendinning, taken by Rains. Been a very, very good player tonight, Jeff Rains, and on his 200th game with his 4th league club, he's showing he's got quite a few more games left in him, which is beautiful to see, because he's a thriller. There goes Micken. Wide out it goes, and Renstead pursues it. It's out of bounds, and that's only losing time against you, Bears, and it'll be thrown in once again.
Scott beats Micken from behind. Rains again in the thick of it. Waterson, another goer, real battler. Gastev off to Renstead. Lovely floating hand pass to Anir on the half-forward line. Bad kick straight into the arms of McCarthy at fullback for Brisbane. The Bears knowing they've got to move it in a hurry. He gets a good lead and delivers well for Phillips on the half-back flank. Sizes up the situation and goes inboard dangerously to Williams, who's surrounded by about 3. Malaxos, Holmes. Well played by Holmes. Now Lamb from 50 metres. Long left footer. Still in play. McCarthy goes for the line. Doesn't find it. Hart puts it out on the full for a Brisbane free kick from the last line.
Lack of talk there. I thought Glendinning could have shepherded a little bit and let Hart know that really he had an opportunity of actually centering that ball without being under the pressure he thought he was.
John Fedge. Micken and Scott. Micken over the back with a great punch. But here comes the brilliant Mainwaring. Fumbles once but not again. Great shepherding, Lamb. That was brilliant. Mainwaring to Holmes was beautiful. And that was classy football. Classy football. And Lamb was the man who allowed it all to happen with a brilliant shepherd. Now 15-metre penalty. And Holmes will kick it high looking for Keane. Keane comes out with Ben Harris. In front is Micken to give assistance. And after 3 bites takes yet another telling mark, the big captain. Not sure what to do with it. He'll have to hurry and play it straight downfield. A long kick goes straight to Renstead, and Renstead will put them back into attack.
It's just forward of the centre. And the Eagles looking to be in control now at the 19.5-minute mark. Lovely placement, and Zanotti covering a lot of territory coming off half-back. Couldn't kick a goal from there, too far out to score, although he fancies himself a bit. Now passes to Renstead, or in fact it's not, it's Scott, the big man, coming down the ground. And he'll kick from just outside 50 metres. Don't think he did kick it from there. He's a bit further out than was Keane when he kicked a goal. Zanotti now has cropped further down the ground, and he takes Scott's short pass. As Micken is being taken from the ground by the runner, I think perhaps Peter Knights has decided the big-hearted Brisbane captain has given 101% and can give no more. And he's being taken off for a rest as Zanotti lines up for what could be the sealing goal. Won't make it. Reynoldson up with the fist, thumping it through for a behind. And the margin is 19 points, and that's a telling score as Micken leaves the field of battle. And if he was playing in front of a home crowd, he would be receiving a standing ovation.
I'm staggered he's gone off the ground. Oh, Glendinning, what a soaring leap. Well, that was Mr. Spectacular at his best. Beautifully played out to Mainwaring, but as if the ball was dry, and it has poured all night, and the spectacular Ross Glendinning. Up he went, out to Malaxos as a perfect pass. Mainwaring is full of class. He kicks the ball beautifully. He's a perpetual runner and a very, very good player.
Well, I would think Micken would have to be hurt or feeling ill or something, because you wouldn't take him off the ground. He's been a marvellous player and for the Bears, and his position is on the ground if he is fit. Obviously, he can't be fit, otherwise
chance to win. That's finished it now. That's 4 goals the difference. No, it doesn't make it. I thought it was straight.
20 points the margin as Ben Harris kicks virtually down the middle. Bernie Harris running onto it. Chance for Walsh. Now Campbell. Hard to keep the ball in, though, when it gets close to the line and you're under pressure. And to throw it on the wing. 22 minutes down in the final term. 5 or 6 minutes left in the match. And the West Coast Eagles, in driving rain all night, set to take the points against the Brisbane Bears. But once again tonight, the Bears not disgraced in defeat, fighting every inch of the way and making a contest of it when it looked as if at half-time the match would be a no contest. And they're into attack again. Peter Smith, who replaced Micken, kicking from a standing start. Well played Turner, beating 2 or 3. Bad fumble though by Mainwaring. His first mistake for the night, I might say. But he's obviously a perfectionist because he's kicking himself for having made one.
Yeah, said a few real words to himself, I think. Scott. Down it comes from Tony Beckett. Out very wide, Hardy pursuing. All over the line, I think.
On the full.
On the full, yes. The free kick will go to Jeffrey Miles, back deep on half-back flank. And it's absolutely pouring at the moment. Smith fighting for it, was Beckett. Beckett was pushed and will take a free kick. Mark Williams tosses it back to him. Beckett, who has kicked some beautiful left footers when we saw him in his debut. Downfield it goes. Smith is the high one. Punched by Brennan. Or free kick. Free kick. Bad tackle by Holmes. And the advantage goal is played, and eventually it's Bernie Harris who takes the mark. Well, Bernie looks very, very tired. He's kicked one enormous goal in this quarter and has got the chance again. When he kicks, it'll be almost 45 metres, so it'll need to be a very good one. Won't make the, well, he will make the distance off direction over the head of Hardy. It goes one behind.
We've just lacked a couple of classy players on the forward line at ground level. The Bears, they've fought very valiantly and they're to be congratulated on that, but they're just a couple of classy small players short.
Turner now near to the wing. Glendinning, great first half, not so good in the second. Renstead shepherded by Scott. Mainwaring in the centre, long to half forward. A bit of pushing and shoving, and a Bears free kick to Phillips. In the back half is Brendan Phillips. Buffeted trying to mark in front then, and takes the free at centre half back. Goes for Reynoldson. Renstead at the back. Huge possession winner in this second half. Off to Lamb. Oh, courageous attempt by Phillips. No free kick. I thought, yes, there is. I thought the push was there. And the umpire agreeing. And Phillips for the second time. We have a look at it again. And crash high was Gastev. And that's the reason for the free kick. Now Bernie Harris from the centre line to half forward. Mark Roberts and Hardy are there. Hardy waits down. To no avail. Zanotti well tackled by Roberts and dispossessed. Roberts with bulk, but not a lot of finesse. And a ball up, half forward for Brisbane.
Yes, he really is big, Roberts. He's so bulky that he always looks completely unfit, which I think is probably not true. It's just the huge bulky build that he's got. Reynoldson out wide. And eventually it comes back to the West Coast Eagles. Malaxos in front, I thought, might have taken a free. He was looking for one, and eventually does get one on the second attempt, or the second tackle. And Steve Malaxos, who's done his job tonight, wonderful battler, out towards Ross Glendinning. Glendinning almost took it. Good, strong play there by Miles. Very, very good. Goes again. Lucky boy out to Anir. Kicked it off the ground. Anir was going to hand pass. Then he hooks it downfield. Rob Wiley, and a good leap by Waterson. Caps a fine 4 quarters to him. Banfield, another good one. Back towards Waterson. Look out from Anir. Waterson down and Big Keens after it. To Mainwaring is brilliant. Mainwaring on the 50-metre mark. Kicks as far as he can. Right to the teeth of goal. And there's 2-1 against him, and McCarthy's with it. McCarthy to Phillips. Phillips back out wide to Williams. Williams kicks into open territory. Range will lead Renstead to it, but the ball beats him over the line. And the minutes are ticking away. We're into time on, and it's 81 points to 62 with the West Coast Eagles in front.
It's just about time, with only one goal kicked by each team in this final term. approaching the 27-minute mark. It's just about over. The Eagles back into attack. Malaxos playing on after, I'm sure, took a mark. Renstead met by Peter Smith well. Well played, Smith. But Malaxos wins it back. Lanier now. Between wing and half forward. Goes for Glendinning. He was pushed, but there's the siren. And the home team, the West Coast Eagles, taking the points, and the picture of Peter Knights tells all. He's seen his Bears go down by 19 points, their 4th loss from 7 matches this season. The Eagles remaining within striking distance of the top 5. In fact, for the moment, they're in the 5, but of course that could all change tomorrow. With the final margin at the WACA ground at 19 points, the Eagles 10-21-81, the Bears 9-14, 8-14-62. Match played in teeming rain all night. Not one I don't think that too many of the players would have enjoyed, Kevin Bartlett, but the Eagles now can go away and savour a victory that they fought hard for.
Well, we said at the beginning of that last quarter, a 21-point lead was going to be very hard to bring back, and they finally won by 19 points. I think on the night there's no doubt that the Eagles were by far the better side. The Bears played a great third quarter, particularly the final 20 minutes of that third quarter when they got back into the game, mainly through the brilliant display of their captain, Mark Micken, who was a marvellous player, and Jeff Rains in the centre playing his 200th game, and a tremendous pat on the back also to Waterson, who played a marvellous game on John Annear and really played a good game himself, as well as a blanketing game. But for the Eagles, Ross Glendinning all night, fantastic at centre half forward. He had several opponents. Reynoldsson started on him. Reynoldsson then went to centre half forward. And speaking of centre half forward, that's one area where they're having a lot of trouble at the moment, the Bears. Falling down there, they tried Reynoldsson there tonight, they tried McCarthy, they tried Big Ben Harris. But as the night turned out, certainly it was a night for the Eagles with their smaller players, Main, Waring and Lamb, being very damaging.
Comments from Kevin Bartlett, the major goal kickers for the winners. Glendinning 3, 2 each to Keane and Gastev, with singles to Main, Waring, Zanotti and Hart. And for Brisbane, Jim Edmund kicked 3, Bernie Harris 2, singles to Hardy, Phillips and Banfield. Final score in the opening match of round 7 under lights at the WACA ground in Perth. The West Coast Eagles, 10 goals, 21-81, have beaten the Brisbane Bears 8-14-62. On behalf of a wet and bedraggled commentary team consisting of Kevin Bartlett, Doug Hayward, this is Tim Lane signing off from the WACA for ABC Sport.
And after that,
the Brisbane Bears looked a bit ordinary. They tried very hard, and to their credit they kept fighting on, but they just don't seem to have the players, and perhaps being away from home since Tuesday, they all might be a bit homesick and couldn't really fire up, but it was a good win to the Eagles. And
over the last 4 or 5 weeks has yet to gain a possession. Maddens